Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going deep today on a topic that's always gotten attention. What makes older men attractive to younger women?
Interesting.
We've got this article we're looking at called Older Men Win Young Women's Attention with this.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but I think as we dig in, there are some points in here that might make us think.
Right.
Have you ever thought about this whole dynamic yourself?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's see what this article has to say.
Yeah.
So it really jumps right into this idea of maturity and not like, just age, but really like having it all together. Stability.
Yeah, that's when it gets kind of interesting.
Yeah. The article even says when a young woman meets an older man who has his life together, it's like discovering a rare gem. So he stands out, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is behind that like rare gem effect?
Well, I think if we look at it from just like a relationship standpoint, a lot of times compatibility is about, being on the same page in life. So like a younger partner, they might still be exploring different paths, but someone older might have kind of figured out, what they want.
Yeah. So it's not just about the number, it's what that represents.
Exactly.
Experience and knowing what you want in life.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can bring that stability and security too.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so then the article moves into communication as like this key advantage that older men have. They say experience makes you a better communicator. Now, I don't know about that one. I've met plenty of older folks who, maybe need some help in that area.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not necessarily tied to age.
Right.
Think about all those like life things that kind of force you to get good at communicating, like, at work
Oh, yeah.
or with family, all those tricky situations.
Yeah. So those things can make you a better listener or teach you to say what you mean, I guess.
Exactly. And it's not just talking, it's like, picking up on all those little cues, body language and stuff, understanding your own emotions too.
Right.
All that adds up.
Okay, now this is where the article gets fun. They start talking about how you present yourself. Like looking sharp. Putting effort into your appearance. They even have this funny bit about a well-dressed guy at a coffee shop, catching someone's eye. It's a little, like, peacocking, isn't it?
It kind of is, but I think it's also about, showing self-respect.
Okay.
When you put effort in, it
Yeah.
can show confidence. And those are things people are drawn to, right?
Like the halo effect.
Yeah.
Where if someone looks good, we think they're smart or successful, too.
Exactly. First impressions matter.
Okay, I get it.
Appearances aren't everything, but they can definitely play a part.
So then they talk about how a quality watch is like a status symbol. I mean, do you think women are really that impressed by a nice watch?
It's not really about the watch itself. It's more about what it could represent.
Okay.
Like an eye for quality, attention to detail, maybe even like success.
So not material, but
Well-
what it says about the person.
Right. Little clues, especially when you're first meeting someone.
Makes sense. Okay. Let's move on to confidence because the article's big on that too.
Okay.
They say it's essential. Not like arrogance, but that comfortable kind of confidence. Why do you think that's such a draw?
Well, I think, from a psychology standpoint, confidence can be a signal, like strength, resourcefulness. Going way back, those are attractive qualities.
It goes beyond just feeling good about yourself.
Exactly. It's like projecting this I can handle things vibe.
And that can be attractive, yeah.
Yeah, no matter your age, really.
The article even gives this tip to smile genuinely. Like, don't fake it.
Right.
Authenticity is what matters. But wouldn't a little mystery be more interesting?
Well, that's actually what they talk about next. Being approachable, but not revealing everything right away. What do you think about that?
Well, they have this funny analogy of a good book.
Yeah.
You don't want to give away the ending too soon.
Right.
Keep people wanting to read more.
And I think that works for relationships, too.
Oh.
A little mystery keeps things interesting, lets it unfold organically.
So not being secretive, but just letting it happen naturally.
Exactly. Creating a sense of intrigue.
That makes sense. Okay, so then they switch gears and talk about fun. But like fun with a purpose.
Yeah, this is where they get specific.
Okay.
They say older men should show that they can have fun, but be mature, too.
So you can enjoy life, but also be responsible.
Right. Showing you're well-rounded,
Okay.
that you can bring excitement, a creation season, stability.
I like that.
That can be really appealing, especially to someone looking for both those things. New
Yeah.
experiences, but also that security.
They even talk about being thoughtful.
Hmm.
like remembering details and planning dates that the other person will like.
Yeah, it is kind of like a step-by-step guide sometimes.
But the idea is to show genuine interest, right?
Yeah.
To make someone feel special.
Exactly. And those little things can go a long way.
Okay. Now, their last point is about being clear about your intentions.
Right.
Like, are you looking for something serious or casual? Upfront about it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's always easy to do?
Well, that's where things can get tricky,
Yeah.
especially when you're first dating, right?
Right.
It takes like a lot of self-awareness to be that open about what you want.
It does, but it's so important for trust
Yeah.
and making sure everyone's on the same page.
Goes back to that whole communication thing, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Being honest with yourself and the other person.
And that matters in any relationship, no matter the age difference.
Right, for sure. Well, this has been really interesting to unpack.
Yeah.
I mean, we've covered so
Yeah.
much.
We have maturity, communication, confidence, even that mystery factor.
This article, it might be lighthearted on the surface, but it touches on some real stuff, you know?
I think so too.
But we're just getting started. We'll be right back to look at this from some different angles.
Sounds good. Welcome back. I think, we've talked about what might attract a younger woman to an older man, but
Right.
kind of interesting to think about, like, what's the older man looking for?
Yeah. We've only focused on one side, haven't we?
Right. So from the other perspective,
Hmm.
one thing that comes up is this desire for, like, a renewed sense of vitality. A younger partner, they might bring a fresh outlook,
Oh, I can see that.
That zest for life can be pretty invigorating.
Yeah. Not about trying to be young again, but
Right, exactly.
like getting a new perspective.
Yeah, it's about embracing a different kind of energy.
It can be like expanding your world a bit, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Challenging yourself to see things in a new way,
And that can be, really good for you.
both personally and intellectually, yeah.
So it's not just fun, it's like personal growth too.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
keeps you mentally sharp.
Okay, but we got to talk about like the elephant in the room here, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's that whole like cynical view of this, trophy wife and all that, money and power.
Mm-hmm.
How do we like square that with the good stuff we've been talking about?
Well, I think it's important to remember that power imbalances,
Right.
they can happen in any relationship,
Oh yeah.
no matter the age, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely important to watch for red flags, but I don't think we should assume every age gap relationship is like that.
No, of course not. It's about looking at each one individually.
Exactly. And healthy relationships, they're built on respect,
Right.
equality, shared values. So, how do we tell the difference?
Yeah, between a good connection and something that's like not so good.
Right. Well, one thing to watch for is if there's like no shared interest.
Okay.
Like if it all revolves around just one person's needs.
So it's good to see how they interact.
Exactly. How decisions are made. Do they both seem happy?
Yeah, like do they really enjoy being together?
Exactly. And, look at the emotional side too. Is it genuine or is it more superficial?
Okay, that's helpful. Now, I'm wondering, like, are there any bigger societal things at play here?
Ooh, interesting.
Like with ageism or gender stereotypes?
You had a really important point.
Yeah.
There's definitely a concern that this whole, like, older man seeking younger woman thing, it can play into that stereotype of women being valued for their looks,
It's that double standard.
Exactly. Men get valued for their achievements, women for their youth and beauty.
And that's harmful for everyone, isn't it?
It is. Limits opportunities, impacts self-esteem.
We need to think about the messages we're sending,
Absolutely.
both as individuals and as a society,
Well said. It's about challenging those stereotypes
Right.
and promoting relationships that are about, like, real connection.
Respect, equality.
Exactly. So it's a good reminder to look past those surface judgments, right? Love and attraction, they come in so many forms.
This is really fascinating stuff. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah,
you mentioned some real-world examples of this whole dynamic.
I did.
I'm really curious about those.
Oh, yeah.
Like celebrity couples, They're always in the news.
They do kind of fuel the fascination, don't they?
They do. But I guess we only see like a tiny part of their lives.
Right. It's a carefully crafted image, not the whole picture.
Exactly. So maybe not the best examples.
We don't see the day-to-day, the real stuff that makes a relationship.
True, true. Well, I really want to hear about those thought-provoking examples you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get to those when we come back?
Absolutely. I think looking at real-world cases will add a whole other dimension to this discussion.
All right, we're back. And you're going to tell us about some real-world examples of this age gap dynamic.
Oh, yeah. One that always comes to mind is Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte.
Oh yeah, the French president.
Yeah, you know she's quite a bit older than him.
I do. And they met when he was her student, right?
Right. I mean, that relationship really sparked a lot of conversation, didn't it?
It did. It kind of challenged all those norms, didn't it?
Absolutely. All those debates about double standards, like, why is it okay for older men to date younger women, but not the other way around?
Yeah, it seems like there's different rules.
Exactly. Whether they meant to or not, their relationship really highlighted that inequality.
It made people think about their own biases, I guess.
Yeah, like, why do we judge some relationships so much more harshly?
It goes back to those expectations we have about men and women, doesn't it?
Totally. What's appropriate and all that.
And they just, by being together, challenged all that.
Exactly. It sparked important conversations, I think.
So thinking about these real-life examples,
Yeah.
what can we learn from them?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that relationships are just, complicated.
Right.
Age is just one factor. In the end, it's about compatibility, sharing values, respect, all that.
Yeah. It's easy to focus on the age, but...
Right. There's so much more to it.
Exactly. What makes a good partnership?
We got to look past those surface things and just recognize that love and attraction, they can look like a lot of different things.
We have gone on a journey today.
We have.
We started with that, kind of funny article about what attracts younger women to older men. And, we ended talking about so much more.
Well, we did. Relationships, norms, what it means to connect with someone.
It's amazing how a simple question can lead to all that.
It really is. And it shows, I think, how important it is to be open-minded,
Yeah.
to question our own assumptions about things.
Well said.
Yeah.
So to everyone listening,
Yeah.
we want to hear from you. What stuck with you from today? What are you still thinking about? Share your thoughts, your experiences.
Keep the conversation going.
Exactly. And until next time,
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.